Hey folks, no amount of tie-down straps, cam straps, bungee cords is going to prevent what happened here. What you need is a bed extender to lengthen your contact points to have a really stable ride for your kayak in the bed of the pickup truck. Not all bed extenders are created the same. We're going to take a look at the Boonedox Groovy T-Bone. I'm going to show you the installation and you know, make some adjustments and keep my ride a little bit safer in the bed of the pickup truck here. So prior to assembly, I think it's helpful to lay everything out with the hardware in terms of where it's going to go, and also to know that you have the right tools, which in this case we got a 3/16 and 5/32 Allen wrench. So we have the grooved crossbar there, which has the protective cap that just slides on there. That just makes it easy to slide your kayak on there, low friction. We got some end caps here that just finish it off. We got a couple guideposts with the hardware for that, and there's an inner tube, not to be confused with a bicycle inner tube. This tube goes inside this one. That's the outer tube, and that's the part that actually goes in the trailer hitch, and this end has that D-ring that fits in separate in different positions based on the height that you need. You can adjust it. Moving up, you have this hardware that is the interface with the crossbar here. So let's go ahead and dive into that, and we'll start putting that together. So part of why it's important to lay all this out is there's some similar looking parts. For instance, there are some locking washers that are the small size, which is where this goes onto the crossbar, and then there's some larger size ones, and they're for these larger bolts that go through this inner tube. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on. I already did one side here, and we're just going to slide that onto the bar. Now it's important to note there's a little slot there, as opposed to if you put it on this side, you can see it's smooth across. You want the side with the slot to be the one that slides into the crossbar. So we're gonna slide that into place, and we'll tighten it a little bit. We're not gonna get this all the way snug until we have the inner tube here ready to go in there like this. So we put the lock washer on there, then it goes through this bracket, and then we take that track nut and put it on there. Okay, done that just like the other one. And we're gonna slide this in the end. So when you're sliding this in, it actually comes in 24¼ inches, and you want a inch and I think an 1¾ inch gap, which allows this to fit right in there. You're basically centering it. All right, with the angles centered, you're gonna take this side of the inner tube that has the two holes close to it and slide that in there, and then you have your hardware. This is the hardware set that we're gonna use to attach the inner tube to the centered angles. So we're gonna slide that in there. It is important to note that the washers that I'm using are the larger ones that come in your hardware pack. We'll go ahead and slide this on. I have one large washer there, one large washer on this side, and the lock washer and the lock nut. I've left this loose just to make sure that as I tighten this in, everything gets a chance to settle right where it needs to go. All right, I do have this one in place. You got to tighten this bottom one first because that's going to be in the way here in a moment. So let me push these off and use, this one is the 5/32 Allen wrench, and then we can go to the larger 3/16 to tighten these. So with an adjustable wrench, I actually have a 1/2" socket here along with the 3/16 Allen wrench. We're gonna secure these angles to the inner tube. So what is it that everyone says when they strap a kayak down in the bed of their truck with the tie-down straps? They say, that's not going anywhere. Well, that did go somewhere, but this isn't going anywhere. So next we're going to take this protective cap. Again, this is just the piece that makes your kayak slide on this a little bit easier. We got these these indentations, these slots, and it just wants to hug tight to that. We're gonna slide that in, and yep, just center that. The next, we have these guideposts. Really, their function is to, when you put your kayak up here, to make sure it just doesn't slide off the end of it. So I've already kind of put the track nuts and the hardware in the end of that so you can see what that looks like. And they're just gonna slide in here on the end. You're gonna turn them sideways. And they're just gonna find their way in together. All right, that's on there. And I grabbed the wrong one. Looks like we need the 5/32 for these. I'm leaving a little bit of room because we do have this end cap here that just snaps on and just cleans it up, you know, so you don't have that jagged edge right there. And you got to stretch it a little bit to get on there. But let me get these guideposts on there first. You want to get them down snug, and that lock washer for sure will help with that. All right, got it over the edge. I'm just kind of mashing that on there. Looks good. Won't scratch anything. Let's go ahead and repeat it on this side. We got our goalpost done. Anyone want to tee up a paper football, kick it through the uprights? It does look like a goalpost of sorts. Next thing we're doing, it's pretty simple. This end that has the larger hole goes into the trailer hitch, but this one just has the D-ring. You slide the outer tube over the inner tube, and we'll adjust this once we figure out, you know, what the right distance is. But you're just taking this D-ring and sliding it through there, snapping that into place like so, and yeah, we're gonna put it into the trailer hitch next. So these are listed to a maximum weight of 300 pounds. Go ahead and slide the pin in there. We got the cotter pin here on the other side. And we do offer, Boonedox does offer a locking version of that. So here's where we kind of measure, is this surface can hit there at the right spot, and as it is, I think I need to slide this down a little bit. So I'll just undo this pin, take it down 1 notch, see how that is. And that looks good. Let's give it a try. Okay, it's still got some wobble to it. We're going to pull this off and lower it 1 more notch. I will mention there is a version that is higher. It's our XL. It's specifically for if you have the decked drawers system. That this comes up high enough that you can have your kayak on top of your deck drawer system, and this gets up high enough to meet your kayak. The second from the top. Guideposts are doing their job, and yep, I'll get this in there all the way. And that looks good. That will be secure. I'll go ahead and tie this up and take it for a spin. I actually changed my mind, decided I needed it all the way in that top position. I did have to slam it down in there because the inner tube got to this curve down here, and the pin wouldn't totally align until I really just slammed it into place. It was off with a very small tolerance, so slam that down in there. If the pin doesn't align perfectly, it will reach it. Here's a tip. You always want to have at least a 1/4 turn in your straps to make sure that they don't vibrate as you're going down the road.